We're live. What's up, guys? All or Nothing Show with the boys. Introduce.
Griffin.
I thought we were like...
I thought
we need some kind of intro. I don't know.
I
don't want it to be corny, but...
Griffin, Brock.
Yeah.
We'll start it as like a barbershop quartet. Austin, Griffin.
I will. I'll start to pitch it. I'll get the pitch right. What are those things called? And what are those bands called? That they're harmonics or whatever. Like they're
acapella.
Acapella.
Yes.
That's right. And they have that little tool that they can like.
Yeah.
They can get their pitch
get
right.
The key.
Get the key. But I think moving forward, maybe I'll go ahead and just introduce y'all. That'll be better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're rocking today. I almost picked up the card. And we're starting it off with Alani Nu. This is the first time bringing it on the show. And first flavor I've ever tried of Alani Nu Energy. Sour peach rings. Fellas, I know Griffin, he says he's tried it. Brock and I have not tried it. And I don't know.
I'm usually not a peach guy.
Me neither. For real.
Sour and peach don't seem like they go together. But.
I'm curious to see. Because I haven't had them for probably a year or so. So I'm curious to see how it'll be again.
But I don't know. When I was at the store, I was going to get... GNC has an energy drink of their own. Did you know that?
Pony.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, they have...
And the black one, too. You know, it's like... what is it called? Beyond Raw or something?
Oh, yeah. Lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. And that one's, I guess, like their pre-workout can. But then they have like an energy drink can that is, the Mad Dog or
I feel
whatever
ashamed
the
that I had like all of these. I feel like
basic bitch.
I go to GNC between clients just like, what new ones are there? Like,
do y'all have Alani Nu back in? Well, anyways, I did feel like I felt like a chick checking out with these because they're such a small like can.
True.
And they do look a little feminine.
They do. They definitely are.
True. This is for people who wear gloves when lifting.
Yeah. Smith machine.
No, they are pretty good. I'm not going to bash them.
Right.
But right off the bat, what do you think as far as just the look of the can? Is it unique to you? Do you like the design?
I definitely think as a chick, this would... Like, for me, no, I do not like it personally. I don't. Like, and I'm not just hating on it because it's Alani Nu, but like, I think the can's kind of like not done up.
I think it's very thin and simple.
Yeah.
Which is, it's an aesthetic on its own way, but I'm not super into it either.
I definitely think it would pull chicks, though, and that's the goal for sure, right?
I like I feel like there is something to be said that it's not as flashy as a lot of other brands that are usually in a supplement store like that. It's eye-catching, I feel like, in its own way. I'm not the biggest fan, though, of this wrap around the can, if that makes sense, too. I don't really like that it seems like you can just peel off the outer layer.
And so what I've heard with that, and this is just, I might have been from Doug Miller when I was watching one of his stories when they first started America Energy, is that when you start with energy drink cans, I think you have to order over a certain amount of units before they'll make a template can, like a can like with your shit actually like printed into it. And when you're doing like lower runs, I think they sleeve it like this. I think for cost effectiveness and shit like that. But I would feel like this brand would have enough orders. Maybe they're just sticking with the cheaper can because I believe this is like the cheaper way to go, quote unquote. But who am I?
That's a good point because I feel like, especially with her companies, she's very into having their unique aesthetic between their gym. It's like gray with the black turf, and then like this, or what is the other stuff that they do?
They have some CBD like onyx and rose.
I did see that.
I feel like they always like to have, their own little unique flavors, or like you say, like it's marketed more towards women. But like, do you know many other energy drinks or pre-workouts that are like mimosa flavored or other things like that? To where I am surprised that they decided to go with the wrap if they were ordering a big batch like that. That would be partnered with GNC too.
Yeah.
So
let's pop her open.
Let's go. Ooh, colored. So off the bat, I
don't like the colored.
I already like that.
It already looks kind of like piss.
Dislike the artificial coloring that they used.
Especially why add coloring?
Why
add coloring there when you can't even really see the liquid? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you because
when bitches pour it in their fucking shaker.
No, because they want to go more along the lines of like a White Claw or other things like that. So they want to have these same flavors, be something that will be like a sparkling seltzer or other things like that too. So
In the
they
future?
want this to be poured into into a glass with alcohol. And he talks about using these as mixers with shots too.
Oh.
So it's like, interesting mentality
hear him
for a
say that,
supplement
too.
company.
Oh, so y'all heard the guy?
Yeah,
Maddie
I follow
follows,
him.
Maddie follows both of them.
I like
yeah.
seeing their
Don't
baby.
act like you don't follow him. Do you follow
The
him?
baby is kind of cute. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've never had baby
got such a
fever
big head.
until I saw Axel.
No, they can keep it, dude. Just go look at it, dude. I'm telling you right now.
You want your bloodline to end with you?
If it does, it does. I might freeze my shit and I'll sell it to somebody and somebody else can take care of it. But I don't know, man. I'm selfish. I am selfish. I love some me. Yeah, let's figure this out. We can talk more about that, but that's a subject for me.
I don't get much peach out of this. I get like a hint of peach. I get I don't get any direct flavor. Like if I didn't see the name of the can, I couldn't tell you what it is.
That is a good way to judge stuff.
I
feel
think I sense the carbonation and a little bit of a sour hint to it. I get a little bit of peach, but it's not like you couldn't put your finger on it.
I wouldn't say peach.
I don't even know if it's peach.
I was almost going like not cherry, but like
No, yeah, cherry. I could see
Get
cherry.
cherry?
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
cherry.
that is weird because the second I was like, okay, well, I kind of get peach, like tangerine maybe, but then as soon as y'all said cherry, it's like, wait, I taste cherry now. What the heck?
I'm Tony Robbins. I can make you think anything.
Yeah.
All right.
It is cherry-esque.
So
I say it's more sweet than sour.
yeah, no. When it said sour, that's the main because there's other flavors there. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, sour? Fuck yeah.
You don't want to guess the mimosa?
Yeah. Well, I saw Arctic Freeze. I didn't see
Oh,
one.
I
that's
haven't
like
had-
White Monster.
I
I saw
haven't had
Skittles. Is that what it's called?
Oh, the Skittles one is pretty good too.
How were they able to use that name?
They call it rainbow candy or
Okay.
something.
Oh, well, I just saw the picture and I was like, oh.
Because they did have to change their cotton candy grape.
Yeah, I
because
heard
that's
that.
trademarked. So now it's
Because
like
actual
carnival
product.
candy.
When I worked at Wegmans, we had cotton candy grapes. They're good as shit.
Good as shit. Expensive, but good
Oh,
as
we
shit.
And
could sneak in the
Wegmans,
back
they
and
let you
just-
taste them too.
Yeah, Wegmans lets you taste them, and as employees,
But
we
dude,
were
if
just...
you taste them, you can't stop because they literally are cotton candy.
Well, here's the trick with them, though, is after, like, 3 or 4, they start to taste like regular grapes. You have to, like, rest in between, basically. You gotta take rest
sets.
time.
It's an
Yeah, you gotta do it in
appetizer
sets,
type
yeah.
food.
All right, fellas. So let's talk about carbonation. I think it's decent
Moderate.
carbonation wise. Yeah, it's not overly. It's not underdone or anything like that. It's not flat. Overall, I guess flavor. It's not anything to write home about, right?
You know what? I was thinking the can shape is giving me, like, PTSD from the Jocko drink.
Yo, you know what? That's right.
Yeah, because they're both the tall and skinnies.
Um,
But anyway, back to the flavor.
aftertaste isn't bad either. There's not really
No.
like a bad aftertaste.
It's enjoyable, but it's nothing that I would, like, get excited
It's not
about.
unique.
No, it's not
No.
unique. It's not anything I get excited about. I would give it a 6.5.
I do have to say, I like this portion. I like kind of having the weekly review of this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Griff.
I would say
What's on your
probably
mind?
7.5.
Oh,
You know, it is one of those things. I'm not a fan
Better
of it
than
having
last week?
color.
Sold.
No.
He's
Last
sold.
week, I think I said 7.8 for the
Ah.
raise.
Yeah, you did.
So I would say, especially, I kind of consider this like
he's an ambassador.
I think he's just in love.
yeah.
Katie. I have sent some friends pictures of Katie before
Oh, I
through the
thought-
DM. Like, damn, a woman like that.
She does look good.
But no, I will say, like, I consider this in a different category than something like a Bang or a Raise or something like that would be. To where I feel like this is almost like a light by the pool kind of drink. So
Yeah.
in my mind, like in that sort of category, I think that it kind of fits for me.
I would rather enjoy
It's
this.
almost like espresso versus a latte or something.
Yeah, I would almost rather enjoy this if it wasn't caffeinated and I could drink a larger amount or like 2 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's so little caffeine, at least for me, in this thing that
200?
yeah, it's not much
No.
for me.
Not me. I mean, I would probably drink
Me and
two.
Austin are more like high intolerance, but
I'm just dead on the inside for
yeah,
real, for real.
there's no way this would get me amped up. You know?
It'd be a nice, like, if I needed to drive, like, if I had some late errands to do or
Yeah.
something. Maybe
Drive
it'd be a
from
pickup.
Short Pump to
It's a-
Richmond.
Yeah,
Maybe a 20 minutes.
it's a little pick me up, but it's not
serious,
going to
though.
get you going.
I could probably definitely drink 2 of them. I don't know. We'll see. That fucking Jocko thing hit me out of nowhere, and that was
Yeah.
what, like 80 or something.
Oh well, they say that it
They had
also
weird
has
ingredients in it though.
biotin in it, so our hair and nails are going to be on fleek.
I wanna see your hair juice.
Maddie almost thought about buying one of their like hair, nail, or skin like products, but the reviews from their stuff are weird because it's like some people have like overly amazing like results, kind of like those what do you call it, like what are those commercials for like acne medicine and
Proactive.
yeah, like a proactive commercial where it's like, you know, they're just covered and then they're
Oh, your
clean.
pizza face.
But then
Oh, yeah.
other reviews, it's like, oh, it made it worse or it made them super oily or like weird stuff. So like she never tried it, but I don't know. They have a lot of different products. That's kind of interesting.
yeah.
Side note.
Yeah, those Proactive commercials. It's like I had Proactive for a while, and I feel like it made my skin like dried out. So it was always to me just, is that really working like that for you? Like you look like, I don't know, just a pepperoni, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh,
Boom.
before and after, no blemish whatsoever, no scar whatsoever.
No,
too.
yeah, they'd have like
Yeah.
pizza.
Because that's the crazy thing. Like I had some friends that took Accutane, which
I
that's
heard
like
that
a
was
prescription.
fun. And shit was strong too, though, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it has some side effects too. Like my friend used to take it, and he would say that it would like cauterize your urethra. Like your urethra would scab over, so you had to pull off the scab to pee.
Oh.
And like a lot
What?
of other things like that. Like
Hold
it
on.
makes you
So it's for your
prematurely
acne.
bald. Yeah.
Acne, but it would cauterize your pee-pee.
Yes, because it messes with your hormones, and I think like your something balance. I feel like within that, some sort of system, like your skin pH. I think is kind of related to maybe not the endocrine system or something like that, but it messes with those levels.
Well, you know, your acne comes from the pores in your skin. When your hair comes through, obviously pores and different like follicles and shit. So I guess they would be like related hardcore,
True.
but like.
But even after he
pee-pee,
finished, he had really bad scars, and
Yeah.
then B, it came back. So it's
shit,
like
so
I
you-
wouldn't want to go through that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I haven't reviewed mine. Maybe
Want to do another sip?
Yeah, let me get. I already started to
He's
say
about
it.
to hit it off.
6.5. Yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's not like great. It's not like, oh man, go buy it. No, go buy something different.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, I did pay almost damn near $3 a can for this.
Yeah,
I was
they are
just about to
expensive.
ask if it's the same as the other
No.
ones.
They were
price-wise?
probably 30 cent more than most.
Really?
Because like I saw, well, obviously Bang was cheaper because they just can make it for that much cheaper. A few other drinks were cheaper. This was like $2.90 a can.
You know, it is
Or something,
interesting because I
$2.90.
always feel like, you know, Monster or even like the Red Bull are more expensive than Bang at the gas station. And that's always weird to me that it's like, okay, they have less caffeine.
Yeah.
Usually like Red Bull too is a smaller can. So like what gives? What makes them more expensive?
I just think the brand, like they try and use their brand to like raise the price, for sure. Which I'm sure most of the like, especially them, like Alani Nu is like not Monster status. They're not Bang status. Neither is like things like America Energy, and their shits are kind of expensive. And it's like, well, you gotta start somewhere, so you can't like knock your shit too low. I'm assuming, and I thought about this on the drive over here, like how much are these cans costing them to make? You think 50 cent a can? Less? What are you thinking? Because they have to at least have a 50% margin.
30 to 60 cents per can, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Because like if it's any more than that, it's not really worth your time to like try and flip it and like. I don't know. Especially if you're wholesaling, you know, because you buy it and you have to sell it at even a cheaper price to GNC so they can mark it up to sell it. So it's like definitely below 50 cent a can, which is cool to think about. It's like, damn. But anyways, moving forward. So Griffin and y'all worked out. You said you trained legs. It's Monday, leg day.
Squats.
Yes.
Yeah. The same old squat routine.
No,
Same.
not same old.
No, a
but,
little
like,
different. A little different.
Yeah.
We did get up to
Every
up
time.
to I don't know what it is.
Holy shit.
To I think it's the backlog of carbonation. It like forms a wall. in the
Sure.
back of my
It's the estrogen rising.
Yeah. No, I got my filter now, so the fluoride is going to be out of my
Okay,
water.
Nice.
Um,
Alex Jones would be proud, man.
yeah, my pineal gland will not be calcified anymore. Yes, but we did get up to 280 today, so we did
Nice,
a few
nice.
sets of that.
Okay.
And, you know, I was saying to Brock, I don't know if you ever feel like this, but do you ever feel like your warm-ups feel stiffer, heavier, and then once you get to your working set, like you almost can, maybe it's a mental thing, or like you almost expect it to feel heavy, that it moves better than the warm-ups do.
Typically, yeah. But I also, in the same instance, like I just squatted with Jake a few days ago, and the warm-up felt butter, like smooth as butter, and I was like, damn, it's going to be a good day. Typically, I never start off that way. Typically, like you're saying, you get 95 pounds on the bar. It's like, oh shit, that almost broke my shit up. My hips, my knees and hips were almost exploded at 95 pounds. What am I doing today? And then you put some weight on there. I think it like forcefully stretches you out.
Almost. Yeah.
Dead serious. I think I tell Sarah that she's like, you're gonna break your shit doing that. I'm like, no, it's just like it's like warming up the joints. You know, you gotta stretch them out. They get tight.
Well, we did learn in school that, you know, a weighted eccentric is just as good as like a static stretch in a lot of ways too, because some sort of load is forcing you down into a stretch position like that. So I always think about, you know, I don't need to stretch. I don't need to really warm up.
Good 315 on the back's a good stretch.
Yeah. Warming up with your max like Mike O'Hearn.
Yeah, when I used to work at Amfam VCC, there was one old dude that used to come in that was like mid-50s, and every time he would run like 2 miles on the treadmill, then immediately go over to bench press, load up 225 on, and just start going. Like no shoulder warm-up, no like with the bar,
like
95,
combine.
135, no, just straight to 225, just going. And I was always just like amazed at like that age that you can just...
It's been walking around this earth 50, 60 some years, boy.
I know.
Yeah, our younger generation's more less pliable. We just break easy.
That's how you get the dad strength.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I didn't train today. I don't think I'm probably going to train today, which is like weird for me to say or like preemptively like say, but I did a little something weird in my chest. The day before yesterday, because I did deadlifts yesterday, so the Friday. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it was just typical bench press or dumbbells, because that's all. I mean, I do barbell when I'm at the FPA gym, but lately my shoulder's been a little weird, so the dumbbells just feel amazing, so I can tuck them in and really keep them tight. And you can only go up to 90 pounds with these dumbbells, and I've been usually cranking them out. I'll do like sets of like 15 or something. And on the last set, it wasn't going to be my last set, but on the last set that I decided to stop, I went down, and like on the way up, I just felt something twinge, like halfway. It wasn't at the down position. It was like halfway. I was straining it out because it was the last few reps, and felt something right at the top of my chest, not shoot over, but like a sharp jolt. It's like, ooh.
Did it get hot?
No. Well, I started to sweat though. I was like, got the hot sweats. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let me set up. So I literally ditched the dumbbells. And they're not like droppable ones. So I felt bad for doing that. But I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to totally rip my pec off. So I started moving it around. I was like, all right, we're good. We're good. So I finished off with some flies.
Nice.
That a boy.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm still able to like, and I'm just doing that right there.
It'll reattach it.
Yeah, but I did do some flies after that. I did a couple of sets of some banded flies. It felt good, so I was like, well, shit, I'm going to hit it while it's hot.
When I almost like tore my hamstring that one time, or like partially tore it like months ago, it was actually a week after my show. Like, that just, and after I did it, I was kind of like walking on it, and I was like, oh, shit, like I did something wrong, but I was like, how wrong did I do it? You know, like how bad is it? And I tried to like keep it moving on like a bike, but yeah, you just like know the feeling, and then you're like, oh gosh, like I hope like the biggest thing isn't like how it feels then, because it's got blood flow, so you can probably do some stuff, but it's like how is this gonna feel tomorrow or like hours from now once I'm like cold, and I guess how's it feel now?
Like I said, I mean, I'm able to push and shit like that, but like I just feel it.
Feel it,
I just feel it. Like it's like definitely a bruised.
Yeah.
Like somebody punched me in my chest almost. Not like hard, but like definitely.
Sounds like you need someone's CBD code.
Okay. I'll at you after the show.
No. I'm just saying, I hear it's the cure-all.
Oh, shit. Nah. I'm good. But, yeah. So I did that, and I trained, and deadlifts were great yesterday. I even felt it when I was deadlifting. Do y'all, like, I think it's just me not really having great form or, like, great connection when I deadlift. Or, like, I don't know, it's not form. It's, like, I strain different muscles that I shouldn't be activating. But, like, when I deadlift, I find that my chest, especially with my chest being kind of fucking tore up a little bit, that I was straining it a
I'll
lot.
say
when I
probably
deadlift.
two ways. Like if you don't pull your shoulder blades back, maybe you'll feel it stretch. Or
Yeah.
the inverse, if you're not thinking about that and your shoulders are just over. I mean, your shoulders are already a little internally rotated if you're going double overhand.
Yeah.
You have some tension in your chest.
Because I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm feeling my chest more today than ever, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But
That's probably what
it's
it
probably
was,
from
yeah.
just me just not really pinching them back.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, it felt great, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a little day off today. I might do some cardio. We'll see,
What's update on Overcome?
dude.
Future formula.
Yeah, so things that are out of my control. I don't know. I
Is it
could.
FedEx? Because we've had bad experiences with FedEx.
Well, no, they do ship FedEx. They
Ah,
do use FedEx.
shit.
Yeah.
Dun,
But typically,
dun,
like I
dun.
mentioned in the text, like I'll request a sample, and within like 2 days at most, they'll send me a tracking number, and like 3 hours later, the package will be at my door. I'm like, yo, thanks for the tracking number. There's no way it's shipped within 3 hours from North Carolina, but I haven't received a tracking number yet. But typically, some days they never even send it to me to begin with, and the shit just shows up out of nowhere. Or they sent it and it just never got to my phone via email, whatever. But I could show up today and it'd be at the door. Yeah, which sucks because we'll maybe be able to talk about it a little bit next week if it does. But
Yeah.
you know, it is on the way, so I'm excited about that. This is we removed one of the ingredients, and I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit. It's called Vaso 6, and I wanted to really use this in this product. Reason being, it's a different pathway of nitric oxide than citrulline or arginine or agmatine per se. It's an actual polyphenol that you'll get from red grapeseed extract.
Dr. Page.
Or
I love hearing you talk about this kind
Or-
of stuff.
Did you see the picture?
you can get it. Yeah, that motherfucker, dude. I actually like it though. I might change it to like my profile or something. Or you can get it from green tea extract, different isolated parts of it, and it just helps with nitric oxide. You'll-
You gotta throw
Trust
it
me.
up on the thing. Yeah.
I will.
I'm a doctor.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. But anyway, so it'd be a different pathway than just your typical citrulline and whatnot, which, you know, would be cool and have a different, you know, like I said, different pathway. But that ingredient is very earthy and bitter. Like when I say bitter, it's not like bitter in like citrus. It's bitter as in like dark chocolate, natural like cocoa. And so
Sounds like a Blanchard's rep.
hey. And so we decided after like 2 or 3 samples that it wasn't even really close to where we wanted it. We pulled it, and we're moving with citrulline in this product, which is still cool. Still gets the job done, but it is what it is. So I'm excited to try this new formula and obviously the flavor, which hopefully will be in this week, and more.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That's something, too, we'll have to talk about
Yeah,
after.
yeah. But I did talk literally probably 30 minutes ago on the phone with our designer, getting some tees done. We're gonna try and do like a cool retro fit, like a old school, like I'm thinking either late 80s, early 90s like vibe, and then a beachy for the tank tops, beach vibe, and then Carbio crew.
Oh,
that.
it's a B.
Carbio, yeah,
What's that supposed to mean?
like
Like carb.
Carbio instead of cardio, it's Carbio.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Like carbs. Like
Yeah, like
carbohydrate,
carbs. Yeah, less.
Okay.
Will the retro
Cardio,
shirts
more
be
cardio.
How do you-
oversized? Like the vintage bodybuilder shirts?
I mean, they can be.
Oh, just
Yeah,
curious.
No, they can.
What do you when you do a crew or like college style? What do you think? Do you mean like a crew
Collegiate.
neck? Oh, collegiate. Oh,
Like a university style, like, you know, if you saw like a crew team, like a rowing crew.
yeah,
like,
yeah. I
one of
get
the,
it.
like,
I
the
get it.
shirts
Yeah.
they would wear or something like that. Like,
Okay.
Will that have almost like a crest or something like that on there?
we shall see. I'm letting him sort of use his imagination on that.
And he's the same one that does the tubs,
Yeah,
too.
he does all of our
I'm
labels
excited
and whatnot.
to see.
Yeah.
He'll do a good job.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like,
No,
too.
he was excited to hear about some of these things. And who knows, we may not go with it. He says he's going to give me a few different designs of each and see where we go. But he's sort of out of work because he's a trainer down in Georgia. And
Georgia just opened up.
he says at least the gym he was training at still hasn't opened back up. I didn't ask where he
Yeah,
trained.
my friend lives in Georgia, and he said some of the gyms, since if they open up, they'll be required to wear a mask. And he said some of the gyms just decided not to open
fuck.
because they don't want to open with mask requirement.
I'm going to be pissed.
Dude, freaking. God damn, I don't want to talk about the politics, but Northam?
Yeah.
God, that guy.
Dude, it is what it is, man.
This
It is
fucking
what it
dude.
is.
This
fucking
dude.
guy.
You know the thing is too is it said like if there's a surge like they're just gonna go back to stricter guidelines, but like there's going to be an increase in cases because people go out. The question is like there's going to be an increase whenever like you allow people to go out, but we can't keep people in for the next 2 years until there's a vaccine.
No.
So it's like you have to allow like nature to take its course. We have to, try and do our best with our treatment. Right now, hospitals aren't at full capacity.
No.
So we should be able to handle the surge that there would be. We just have to like allow nature and immunity to slowly like take its course, because otherwise it's just going to be shut down forever, which is just going to screw everyone, screw the economy, and no one can get their lifts in.
Well, that's a big point.
That too,
That's a game changer. But I don't know, man. I definitely agree. Because are we just supposed to shut the doors and close down shop for everything that comes through in the future
like,
now?
We gave it a month or two, which I think is good, to like allow hospitals to get ready, allow people to kind of get a grip on everything.
I would hope by now they realize what they're dealing with, in hospital-wise.
We started to get, a feel for like what treatments possibly work and such, and like everyone's been able to get like a good amount of like, PPE and everything. So I think like now I feel like, is that still recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looked like it wasn't.
No, it's
just like
it's
froze
catching
for a
up.
minute. But anyway, I feel like it's time to like fully ease things out like they are. But I'm worried that states like Virginia are going to start taking steps back again, and it's just gonna be like such a prolonged, unnecessary situation.
I'm definitely not getting my hopes up. I'm still just like gung ho head, doing what I've been doing because it is what it is. And if things do or opportunities do pop up or things do open back up, hey, that's awesome. But if not, unfortunately, I've been able to like still do what I do. So it sucks for everybody else that like actually needs like particular work back.
I mean, luckily, like I'm in the same situation where like I'm able to. I'm not getting the unemployment like this guy, and all these other people getting the nice check in the mail from the U.S. Gov. But luckily, I am still able to make like my normal income and such, and do a lot of the things I want to do. I'm lucky to have like a home gym and these different things. But like, I don't know. I just feel like I could do a lot more once things open. And additionally, I was just thinking about it last night with Maddie. It's like we don't normally go out that much anyway, so it's not like we go to all these social events and such. But when was the last time we just went shopping or to the mall or to like, a normal like retail store? Like we haven't done that I think since like early in the fall.
You went to Target.
Other than like, like a Target's one thing though. You know what I mean? Like actually going out to like certain events or things like that. Like I don't know.
Overrated.
It is overrated. I don't know. Also, all I'm saying is having the freedom to kind of do it and see people. And
my unemployment is reparations for years of having no sick day, no vacation, anything like that from work. So, and I'm not going to get Social Security probably. So
I don't think anybody's ever going to get it.
I'm taking advantage of the system while I have it in
I'm
my
more power. I respect it. Like I kind of, because I heard so. I'm not telling who or what told me, but that even though like people like me and you, since we're self-employed, self-contracted, we're contractors or whatever, self-employed, we can show or say, hey, we had a loss in income or loss in revenue, and we can collect like partial unemployment or help.
And that's what
that is forgivable
me.
that you don't have to pay back.
Well, like I was kind of naive to it. And my mentality was just, like I'll do other things and like make do and not have to do this pathway of things. But people kept just saying, oh, well, sign up. And that's what surprised me is even what Maddie was saying too, is that, even though it's boosted right now with what people are getting, like you will still, even if you go back to work, will get the base level until July, I think, even if you go back to work because of reduced hours or what you missed. So it's just weird to me to just think like they just give out like $200 a week even if people are back at work. Like,
even once you go back to work, like you said, until December apparently, Maddie's going to be getting, and like I'm sure other people same deal, like 130, 100 whatever bucks a week, which is like, oh my god. I mean that's not that much, but until July, July, getting like 700 something a week, which is crazy.
That's balling.
That's balling. Which here's the thing, like
I'm gonna become a sugar daddy.
Not to get
Who wants it, ladies?
Yeah.
But you know what pisses me off?
Pig.
Not to get into it too much, but I make like enough that if I file like for what I make,
Give me about $10.
they don't give me anything because I make over what they would be giving me
yeah.
anyway for employment. So it's like I either don't work and then get what I would be getting when I work, or work and then don't be getting what I wouldn't be. It's just fucked. It's fucked. It's
For sure.
It's annoying, but I don't know. I'm thankful I have a job, because once things do open up and the government stops paying this much to people, like, I'll be good in the future. But and there's some sense of fulfillment when you're actually doing a job and providing a service. But god damn, it's frustrating. Yeah. God.
I get free.
Do it.
Yeah.
Choke slam. Do it.
Well, actually, this kind of segues into the question I was going to ask you guys. Unless you wanted to go off to a different topic.
I'm going wherever.
With this whole situation, I've been seeing some different Twitter memes of like, get ready for Great Depression 2, Electric Boogaloo. And so I'm curious, like, if we have a depression or apocalyptic scenario, hypothetically apocalyptic scenario, what would be your strategy? What would be your plan? What would you do? Would you go somewhere? Would you...
So, like, when you say apocalyptic, like, going back, like just like a regular depression, or
No. Let's say for example, like everything collapsed. Yeah. Like, what would you do? And like almost like a what's a movie scenario like that? But
Book of Eli.
Yeah, something like that.
Some kind of disaster.
Or you saw things were headed that way, but it wasn't exactly that way yet. Like, what would you do as far as, let's say, things are crashing, it's a month in, and it's time to make a move. Like,
first thing, now knowing that like law pretty much won't be a thing anymore.
Yep.
I'm going to be starting to confiscate and break into
You're loading up.
drugs, pain pills, narcotics, Adderall, the works, because that is going to be what you barter with and sell. Not money. Money will be worthless. Cash, cash wax will be worthless. It's valuables, actual like shit to trade and barter. So drugs are going to be like gold, because you're always going to have drug addicts. Always. It's probably going to be even worse. So drugs, probably alcohol, like a brew, like a moonshine distillery or some sort. Start slinging that a little bit, and then also, hey, get your moonshine, get your drugs.
So you would still be living in the area then?
Probably not. I'd probably want to go towards a river, but like maybe West Virginia, somewhere like woodsy, to where I'm not near people and can like definitely have like a cult per se. Like, I'm down with that.
I would be a member.
Yeah.
I would
be the
probably.
nudist cult too.
I was actually hearing Joe Rogan talk about this with someone there. He was saying like a lot of people they initially are like, oh, let me go like buy guns to like protect myself during that, but like eventually you run out of bullets.
Yeah.
So then they're kind of useless. So I would still get a couple firearms and some ammo. I'd probably stock up on some things that I could. And what I'd try to probably do is, like you said, like West Virginia. Actually, I was thinking about moving somewhere like no one goes, like North or South Dakota or something like that, where no one would probably try and be, and try to find like a little cabin or something and like raid it and just live there. But West Virginia's not bad, and I could get there faster. And I've seen West Virginia. We're driving there for the Arnold. There's nothing really in there.
Take me home.
Yeah, so. We could figure that out. But the problem is I'm not in tune with nature at all, so I wouldn't know how to, like, sanitize or filtrate, like, the water, from, like, a river or something like that. Or, like, I couldn't hunt and things like that, so I'd have to find someone like Griffin to help me with outdoor stuff and then try to find someone who knows how to hunt well and just create a crew.
Well, I'd have definitely the, like, 2 or 3 dummies with me that I'd be like, hey, eat that real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait a few hours and see what happens, and I might eat it after you.
That's a good point. I will say, I've been prepping for this. For fun, but also, like, inevitable.
It's like, come on, baby, collapse.
I've got my firearms, I've got my backpacking equipment. I'm in tune with the
hunting dog.
The more outdoors mobile lifestyle, to where I would be prepared for that if need be. But I feel like to set up shop, I would take the Costco. I would go out there and, they have displays of security cameras inside that you can buy for your house. So I would wire those up. They've got prescriptions, they've got eyeglasses, they've got, vitamins, prepared food, canned, frozen, other things like that. As well as I feel like, too, I could kind of hunker some system, since the fuel area is right outside, to where I would push all of the cars in a ring, and then I would sit on top of the roof, and it would be like, I am legend. So if I saw someone approach and I was getting swarmed, fire one round, gas station.
I definitely would set up some like cameras and motion sensor lights.
Yeah.
And maybe some like little traps if need be. Or like you definitely, like you said, need some kind of exit plan if you did get swarmed. So I'd have to have some like hidden like mines that I could like blow up, or like a secret like bunker I could go under or something.
And also, like, they've got ammonia, they've got bleach, so I can just like put that in a shaker bottle and like throw mustard gas on people. And they've got those like everything, since it's that warehouse, is like stacked on the pallets. So I feel like that would be the perfect spot to kind of have a little nest to sleep at, near the back exit, so you could kind of see, okay, time to shimmy down the ladder, get out the back door, sort of thing. So that's how I feel too.
If this shit popped off, everybody would be like, yo, where'd Griffin go? Costco. Do not go to Costco. The motherfucker's going to kill you. He's going to kill you.
We'll be vetting. They've got the giant stuffed teddy bears, so I'll keep those filled with like tannerite or something like that at each entrance.
Damn it.
So you're welcome to join. We can start our cult there.
You gotta join now, because once it happens, it's too late. Every man for himself.
We'll put out an email through the Gymflo email list.
Sign up now for forever be by yourself.
And get a 10% discount in the case of Apocalypse.
Get your subs too.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, I like the Costco idea, but it's still too close to population for me.
True. And I feel like, too, there would probably be a lot of people that, it is one of those things. I feel like it would be good to have a game plan, or at least some sort of strategy, versus just running off into the remote.
Would you go solo, or would you get some people?
I hate to say solo, but like I feel like I don't really have that many people that I could be like, hey, let's do this together, or something like that you could really count on. If you were in a sticky situation,
fuck us.
Do you have people that you feel like would stick with you? Well, I mean, I'd talk to you guys, but like, if it came down to, I think about Walking Dead, like in the whatever season it was, where it was Shane, where he was getting swarmed by zombies, and he shoots the other guy in the leg so that the zombies will eat him and he can escape. So I almost think like, do I have anyone that would do that to me? Or then again, do I have anyone that I would do that to? Yeah.
Well, you need bait for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Damn. That is tough. That's tough to think, because then like once you start throwing a few loaded like scenarios in there, it's like, well, shit.
Yeah. I actually, kind of going off topic, but similar to that, I took an ethics class in community college. And I thought that was so interesting. There was a lot of situations that he would kind of throw at you. Like, let's say you had a terrorist who was going to blow up a random building, but you knew it was like one of 6 on a certain day, that it would be a large population that would be in the building. Do you torture the terrorist's like 4-year-old daughter so that the terrorist will give up the location? So is it like an innocent life versus...
That movie's called Unstoppable. Or it's with
Sounds like Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, I know. It's
sounds like the plot.
I think it's got Samuel L. Jackson.
I like those kind of scenarios, because it's like it kind of just makes you think. I like the would you rather kind of.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's called no, not Unbreakable, because I know what that's with whatchamacallit. God damn it! I hope
Snakes
it's Samuel
on a Plane.
Jackson.
Motherfucker.
No. It's Unthinkable. Yeah. It's about a terrorist. It's like the same exact scenario about the building. The problem is he's like trying to like I think he kills the dude's like wife, and he's like now starting to like torture the children, and then I think the dude he never gives it up, and they end up, because they wouldn't let Samuel L. Jackson's character like really push him to the brink, the building like blew up because they weren't willing to go like torture the kids.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so the wife died.
It's a good movie. It's kind of scary though.
I have to check it out. Samuel L. Jackson is intense.
Yeah,
Motherfucker's
good
intense. Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, for real, hear me out, guys. Yes or no? Did you watch Tiger King?
Hell yeah.
No.
No.
He still
Not
hasn't
one.
watched it.
Not one. Not
No,
one episode.
I haven't watched it.
You gotta
Do you
watch
plan?
it, man.
Plan to.
No, probably not. I don't really like a lot
it
of these
because-
things that like.
Is it because it's so popular? Like you're trying to fight
That's how
against
I
the
was for a
mainstream?
while.
Yeah, it seems like it's like what is the word for it?
White trash.
No. Like not
It is
psyop, but it's almost like AstroTurf. It seems like it's almost like an AstroTurf. Like, oh well, you got to watch this because everybody's watching it, and like all these memes come out, and it's like this social trend. Not to be like a hipster or anything like that, but like
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's not a big movie or
I don't.
TV show
I've watched
guy,
like 10 movies my whole life, pretty
Like,
much.
you probably
Like,
haven't-
have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yes,
No.
Oh, really? Oh, no, you have. I do know you
No.
have. You haven't.
but
You
like
should.
if you list
I
any
can
other
hook you up with-
series, really, aside from I did watch
Like
Breaking Bad.
Okay. What
but,
about
like,
Ozark?
No,
American Horror Story.
no.
I've only seen some of those.
Actually,
too.
never mind. I have seen one episode, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My man.
yeah.
My man.
That was yeah.
That was
Same
a good
scenario.
episode. Good one.
Yeah,
Call that one the Freak Show.
Yeah.
yeah. The Freak Show season. Yeah. Yeah. Twisty the clown.
Saw Twisty.
Yeah, things got twisty.
Well, anyways, on my topic, Nicolas Cage.
Oh my!
They're putting him as Joe Dirt or whatever, Joe Tiger
Oh,
Joe.
they're making a movie.
They're actually
of it?
making a movie.
Yes.
Out of it?
Dang.
And Nicolas Cage was casted as
sweet.
Joe.
You know,
Nicolas Cage, he died like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
I don't mind him that much. I like that he's a meme.
Well, he was
but-
cool back in
Really?
the day, like early
National
90s.
Treasure.
No.
oh.
That was 2000s. Like,
When he's
I'm talking
Ghost Rider?
like Face Off.
Not
Do you
the
remember that movie?
bees. No, I never saw that.
That's like an early 90s movie, Face Off. There's also the one where he's on an island with Sean Connery. It's called, not Alcatraz, it's like an early 90s movie. Y'all will probably know what I'm talking about. Sean Connery. He was
Not
with-
Shutter Island.
No, that was DiCaprio. Anyways, long story short, Nicolas Cage, I don't know what he's doing, but he is. I would have thought they would have did David Spade because he was actually
yeah,
Joe
that is a
Dirt
good
and like
point.
the
Yeah.
mullet and all. Like, it would have been perfect. He's all white trashy and shit.
Yeah.
That's true. Dang.
Anyways, yeah, that was right off the top of my head because I saw that.
I'm curious. Do you feel like he'll go fully into the character? Why
Like-
do you think they cast him, Nicolas Cage?
I guess like if he squints his face, he has that like white trash face. But like I can't imagine Nicolas Cage because he has no
Yeah.
hair with a mullet and like hairdo and like gay.
Yeah, you being a gay meth head.
Yeah.
Why make a movie on something we already have the documentary, which is more realistic? than the movie? It
Exactly.
just
But
seems
I think they're for real going through with it. I think they are.
True. Well, I feel like too, especially for me, like how many episodes is the show? Because I feel like I already know about it. I already know everything that I feel like there is to know.
You have to watch and
Just from hearing
experience it,
people.
though.
Brock, here's the question of the day. Besides these cards, Griff, do you like watching porn with dudes with the little junk or dudes with the big junk? What do you prefer? If you're scrolling through it, you're like, oh, dude, that's fucking shrimpy D. Fuck no, let me find something like decent, you know? Like,
I guess I would say big because, you know, in that same vein, like, I don't know if you ever have seen anywhere it's like,
He would go into full depth. The
No,
joke
no.
is you ain't that straight then.
oh, you ain't that straight then.
well, it's like you were talking about the other day of something else
He's
where
like,
it's
shit,
like,
it got me.
no. Well, I'm considering, like, you know how you were saying that, like, there are some where it's just not even, like, hard.
yeah,
no, I-
yeah.
And so I kind of consider it that way.
I
It's
think
like,
it is normal to, like, you don't want to...
You don't want to watch some weird
like,
shit.
it's like,
or
oh,
some,
man,
yeah.
like, like, almost you feel bad for the guy. It's like, oh, fuck, dude.
yeah.
You know she ain't,
Yeah.
she ain't having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, he needs some citrulline.
yeah,
That
he
blood
needed that
pumping.
base 06.
But yeah, that was a joke. Or that's what he said in the in one of the episodes. They were like, you know how I knew he wasn't straight. He asked him, "Do you like watching porn with the little junk or with the big junk?" He said, "Big junk." He said, "Well, he ain't that straight then."
Well, that reminds me of, like, are you gay? Yes or no? Does your mom know you're gay? And so then it's like,
Well, it's like I made that
Double-edged
I made that
sword.
meme and sent it to y'all. The one that said, "Oh, do you quarter squat?" And he was like, "Yeah," and it was what we ain't that straight.
Oh.
then. Yeah,
straight then.
got some bad news for your dad.
yeah.
Damn. Yeah. Well. So switching gears. One thing was Luke Sandow.
Sad stuff.
Sad stuff. 30 years old, man.
And it
Did he have
wasn't.
a family?
Yeah, two
A son
daughters, I think.
Or daughter, or whatever.
Or
I knew he was
son
a
or
father.
daughter.
I knew he was a
two-
father.
I think he had 2 kids.
Mm.
Plus, obviously, baby mama or a wife. I'm not sure. But damn, the times are hard out here, man. Like, because I mean, there's no, I guess, cause of death, quote unquote, like hardcore. But obviously, they're thinking of suicide.
They basically announced it because like everyone, like Flex Lewis, who was like closest to him, apparently like put out something that was like, you know, of course related to suicide, and people said he's been battling demons and stuff. So it's basically confirmed, even though it's not super official. But I think it's really sad because apparently he's been dealing with this before his bodybuilding days, so it's, you know, probably just built up and something like this pushed him to the edge.
I
with
think
COVID.
that's why he was such a good bodybuilder, is because most people have some type
Some
of
kind
fucked up
past
thing or scenario or body dysmorphia, where they're just like, they got fucked up so much as a young kid that they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it out on the weights. Next thing you know, they're 380 pounds or 300 pounds, and they're jacked and juicy as fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But dead serious, it like, I'm sure all that combined that he had in his head, and then this time at the gym, like the only thing that he has with the gym being closed and he can't go to the gym, or like it's very hard, I'm sure, for him. He still probably hit it. It's like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of idle time, if you know what I mean. So it's
To me, it feels so weird too because it's not like most bodybuilders. You know, we don't see him for a while, but he was pretty active on social media, and you know, I was watching like, you know, podcasts. I think he does one with, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Faoud Abiad.
yeah, that's
I think I
pretty
got
close.
it right. I think it's pretty close. But anyway, he does like one with him like often. And I saw, you know, like a post of his podcast like a few days before he passed. And then I saw actually Brandon Barrow like post like rip to like Luke, and I was like, no. And this was like 20 minutes after it was announced, and so I like looked it up and I was like, holy shit.
Damn. Ugh. Yeah, it's.
And this
fucked,
one's
man.
different than like Dallas or like Rich, where it was like an accident
Yeah,
or it was an
yeah.
insulin issue. This was, you know, his doing, and I don't know. You just don't really see that as much in bodybuilding.
It is always weird, I feel like, when you have somebody that you think is like, you know,
Living the
they're
life.
pretty high up in their respective field, acting, bodybuilding, other things like that. And especially too if they have a family, like what is so great that, you know, the ending your life is better than turning it around in some way
Yeah.
too. So it does make you kind of wonder, like even people like Robin Williams and stuff,
Yeah,
like
something-
what was so bad that like you provided joy to so many people, or you inspire so many people? Like, is there nobody that does that for you, or like do you not have a good support system, or even family, or other things like that? What kind of makes that decision final for you?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know how well he was off, but obviously he was working with Redcon, and I'm sure they paid him very well, for sure, because he's one of their top athletes. And, you know, I'm sure he had other sponsorships or endorsements as well that he was probably getting. And it's like, I'm sure he was doing very, very well, you know, doing what he loved, lifting. And it's like, I don't know, it made me like think, definitely, I've been thinking about it a lot, but I'm like, when people ask me, hey, how you doing or how you been, it's like, I can't complain for real. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm like out here killing it as, you know, as I plan to, but it's like, man, like there's people out there that really have some deep dark shit going on, or like they're dealing with some hardcore shit, and it's like, oh, you just don't know. And this is like goes to show that somebody that has it all, kind of, they're at their peak. They're like, everybody knows them in the industry. They're with a big company, even though the company's kind of garbage. They're with a big company, probably making a fuck ton of money. It's like, you know.
The other thing too, I would say, is like this is someone who like was very good at his respective field, and the field is an outlet for so many people for stress, like lifting and other things like that. So it's interesting to think like he's top of the top in lifting, which is such a stress reliever for people that you would think that, you know, that would be he would probably be around a circle of people that have gone through similar things too, that have all kind of been working towards fighting those demons and stuff too. So I don't know, it is interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, and it's really no like direct connection, but it is kind of strange. You know, you get 2 Redcon 1 athletes that have passed away in like the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm sure we all were kind of thinking that it was probably heart related or like, you know, health
That's
related.
what we thought. Yeah.
Everybody, you know, motherfucker was big as shit, like Dallas
Yeah.
McCarver big, and it's like, oh, well, your body only takes but so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, being a top level athlete of a brand, you feel like, I'm sure you probably have to push that much more. Oh, I need to stay
Yeah.
on top. I need to look my best all the time. I need to be, you know, pumped, full, looking, making progress, you know, making PRs and shit.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're trying to keep it up, and your body just gives out, you know. 30 years old.
Dang, yeah, that is a good point.
Man.
It is weird too, as we get older, like seeing sometimes that people pass away younger than we are now, or like the same age, or other things like that. So it's weird to just think, 30 years old, like that's a baby,
dude. Yeah,
That is really young.
It is
in
weird to
comparison
just
a lot of
think too
things,
that like, even though we've all had different things we've gone through, like
For sure.
for me, I know that like I always feel like I can turn it around, or like,
Yeah.
at some point in life, like things will be perfect, and you never know what a year can lead to, a month can lead to, other things like that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that picture of like the two miners, and the one miner is walking away, but he's like super close to the
Yeah,
diamond,
I've seen
breaking
that,
through.
other things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I always wonder sometimes with people that decide to do that I don't know. It's just like, do you not think that anything will get better, or that like what really is going so wrong that that it's over, and for
Yeah.
you, especially with kids.
I mean, I'm not going to blame it on this by any means, because who knows the true deep down story of his past and what all he was doing. But like, I kind of believe it deep down. It does have some variant effect. Probably not the point of the actual cause directly, but maybe his hormones being out of whack, taking so much shit. Who knows?
True.
Who knows how much he was or wasn't taking? But obviously he was utilizing some PEDs to be where he was or is. But it's like, do you think something was just he was taking such high doses or such large amounts for so long that it internally changed his chemical balance like a little bit?
He's probably definitely like more on edge and more prone to make like major choices or actions.
Yeah.
Like I know on a podcast that I listened to, he was talking about how he doesn't really care to get any bigger. So I doubt he was like pushing the juice like hardcore. But obviously he still has to, push it to like maintain what he has now and still like hit a, maintenance basically. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it obviously adds to. You give someone who already has issues drugs, it just exacerbates the lows that they're feeling. So I don't know. Sad stuff though.
It is.
Sad
It is.
stuff.
And I guess like a point of like segueing from that was that I've had people reach out. When I say people, like at least two off the top of my head recently within the past 2 weeks that have been going through rough things recently, and finding it hard to, I guess, focus on what they could be doing instead of focusing on all the shit that they're dealing with and the bad timing of everything, obviously, that everybody's dealing with, but it's all in like perspective of how you handle it, And I think people need to start utilizing this time to focus on themselves. All most people have right now is time. So why wouldn't you take that time and learning or reading more books like you do, Griffin, or like just focusing, maybe making one goal as in like starting to just track your food daily, like literally, even if you eat shit, just tracking it just to realize, all right, I see bad habits there on paper or on the app. Let me start dialing things in, or making a commitment to just do at least one thing a day to like try and focus on having yourself become better, so you can think a little bit more positively through this like weird time. Going to show like the Luke Sandow thing. Who knows? Obviously, like we said, what he was going through, but it's like, what can you do for yourself to like start pushing yourself in the right direction? With all this extra time we have going on. So that's one thing that I guess that I would challenge everybody to do out there is to start trying to hold yourself accountable to one thing every day, whether that be going out and doing cardio, walking outside because no gyms are open, setting a timer on your phone for like 30 or 45 minutes and just walk until it goes off, or tracking your foods, or doing that body weight exercise circuit that you saw online or whatever. Just, I don't know. I just think a lot of people are just so in the dumps, or not a lot, but there's some people that have reached out to me and it's like, why? Like, I understand why you're thinking that way, but like, why wouldn't you think of there's thinking down this road and there's this road. Why are you stuck on this road? Like,
I would say a couple different things on that point. Because I always like to, think about this kind of stuff. I always like to, for me, that's a big, knot that I like to unravel of just personal development. And with fitness and stuff, we always try to maximize our progress. So I try to apply that to a lot of other things in life. So one thing I would say is I think it's important to have kind of 3 different avenues of growth: one physical, one mental, and one creative. So I would say, you know, doing some sort of activity every day, whether that be some sort of cardio, resistance training, but kind of feeling like you're making progress and working towards something in that field. Mental can be reading a book or doing some sort of, you know, like puzzle or something like that. And then creative, some sort of hobby, whether it be cooking, music, other things like that. Like even painting, drawing. If you don't feel like you're good at it, I feel like just finding something that is an outlet for you, but is something that you can work towards in some sort of way, I feel like just helps you feel more well-rounded.
Yeah.
As well as, I would say too, for me, the best moment of my day, in addition to like my workout, is usually I like to take an hour walk or so with my dog on the buttermilk trail. And, you know, I feel like having a walk that's not necessarily on like a paved surface and around cars that you're having to, you know, you hear things just going by you, you have to stop and wait or other things like that. I kind of feel like if I can go on the trail and just consistently walk, you know, the scenery changes and my mind just kind of unravels things that I'm going through, or, you know, I'll think about like stuff that I want to do or am excited to do, kind of responsibility wise or with some sort of work or other things like that, to where every time I feel like I come back from a longer kind of outdoor walk like that, I feel like I'm at a much higher kind of, not mindset, but like my mood is better.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more sure of myself in a lot of ways with things like that. And it's funny sometimes, you know, just letting your mind wander and having something physical to do, or I don't know if you guys ever do that too. Like if you're just doing a menial task, kind of, you find that your mind, for me too, it's driving, that that your mind kind of just sorts itself out. So I would say, you know, have that be somewhat of a staple too. And the other thing I would say too, not to ramble on too much, but you know, with staying at home, with being somewhat more isolated, I think it's important to still have some sort of interaction, even if it's not face-to-face, but at least like a phone call or something like that. I feel like, you know, when it's so easy to just text or type stuff out, it's good to have that social conversation and to kind of hear the sound of your voice, to put things into words versus just typing and kind of having that inanimate phone being a middleman, if that makes sense. You know, it's good to have that social element again. It kind of helps you solidify not who you are, but it's easy to start to kind of get off a little bit when you're just holed up and you're not having any interaction, if that makes sense.
I agree, and that's why I do my voicemail text to y'all.
I think it's definitely more meaningful, though, too, like you said, to have that face-to-face or even voice-to-voice connection. And I don't always get to do them or, you know, pursue them, but I definitely find value in like a 10 to 20 minute, or it could be an hour, like walk to kind of clear your head, have no, I guess, exact, other than, you know, maybe a length or time, you know, limit that you want to go, but have no kind of expectations for that walk and just kind of letting whatever come to your mind, you know, come and go. And I guess it kind of just, like you said, like opens you up and allows you to kind of put everything at ease, I feel like.
Most definitely. I do it not every day as much as I used to, but I just set a timer and go until I hear it go off, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like almost mindless, pretty much.
Yeah.
Perfect. But, yeah, I mean, that's some things I just wanted to hit on that I was at least thinking about recently.
Was that the other note on there?
Yeah.
Ah.
One thing, I guess it kind of goes in with that, is like, what's scared? I was leaving Walmart. I bought some shit for a skit today at Walmart that we'll hopefully knock out. And I was walking out behind this other guy. Well, two guys. One guy was, I guess at Walmart now they have somebody with like a tablet counting people in and counting people out. Mm-hmm. Like as you walk in, they hit a number. As you go out, they like minus it. And this dude, I'm not trying to make fun of him, but he was like definitely looked like in his late 80s. Up like looks like they like the Weekend at Bernie's, like where he's like leaned this dead body up against the corner and like shoved a cart up in there so he wouldn't fall down. He was like literally, like it looked like it was people shoved him in this corner, and he had the tablet and the cart. And I was looking at him, eyes were open. He was not tapping it when people were walking in, and was not tapping it when people were walking out. And I just like sat there, like I didn't pause and stare at him, but just enough to like notice that like nothing was going on. And I was like, damn. that could be life for somebody. Like, that's life for that guy. Like, which I'm hoping he just does it to, like, for free time. I'm hoping he doesn't have to work for his income, like, or to pay his bills or eat or whatever. But I mean, because the dude was old. But it's like, man, some people, like, that's scary. And then literally when I was walking in my car, that, like, just started clicking in my head. And I was walking behind this other old guy, and he was like, had his frozen pizza and frozen French fries in one bag, and it's like maybe that's what he's like looking forward to with life. I don't know.
A lot of people live like a passive life, if that makes sense.
Okay,
to where, which is fine, where they kind of are just, content with their 9-to-5 job, whatever job they work. That they may not love, it might not be their passion, but they're content with that. They just kind of let life passively happen, where they just marry whatever girl they've been dating because they're like, well, I'm 30, I guess it's time to have a family. They have kids because they feel like they're supposed to, and they just kind of let life passively go through. We were actually talking a little bit about it this morning, and I just feel like, again, not everyone can think this way, and it's not necessarily right or wrong to think this way, but being more active and proactive about, like, about your passions, about what you want. Like, don't kind of let just life go by and come to you, but you need to be kind of the initiator of these things to happen, to get the better job, to move up in the company. Like, you can't just kind of sit in the back seat and then, complain about where your life is going. Like, you got to grab the steering wheel and kind of, like, guide wherever you want to go.
That's what I was trying to, like, get to, I guess, is because I just realized now that I'm 30, it's like, damn, how quickly 21 or 23 jumped to 30. And it's like, damn, I'm sure, like, most people just sit back and just hope things will kind of turn around, which obviously everything needs effort, and you need, like, a vision or a goal, something at least. But it's like, damn, how quick time just flew by for me. And it's like, man, next thing you know, I could be, not saying I'm going to be that guy, but it's like, I don't know. I just hope that, like, it made me, like, put a little fire under me today. I was like, damn, I need to be, like, focusing on what I want a whole lot more than what I've been doing. Even though I have, it's like, I know I could do more, because, like, fuck, dude, time is short, for real.
True. And it's one of those things, we were talking about this a little bit this morning, but, like, and not to brag on her, but, like, my grandma, for instance, has probably sat in the same chair watching Game Show Network, like, heating up a Marie Callender pot pie for, like, 35, 40 years now.
Yeah.
And it's a shame to me, because I always try to tell her, get involved with this, or I'll come over and we'll do this and that. And I feel like it almost is like a snowball effect, to where there's, like, a fear that's created of breaking that routine that's been established.
Yeah.
And I wonder sometimes, it's easy to just kind of judge it from the outside, but I wonder, like, some of that stuff must be deeply ingrained, to where even just walking around the neighborhood, like, freezes you in your tracks, because you've been used to living this other way for so long. But one thing that kind of motivates me is, and it scares me a little bit too, but I was watching earlier today, somebody had made a video of Frank Zane from, like, I think it was 18 to, like, 73. I don't know how old he is now, but seeing these old pictures of, like, from 18 to 23 to 30 or other things like that, and just the progress that he made, and the Olympias, same with Arnold, same with Franco, stuff like that too. But you see these old kind of golden era videos and photos, and it's like, it's scary a little bit, that they are closer to death now, like, and just knowing that all that they accomplished, and the memories that are preserved, and that what we're able to see now, like, it would have been just as easy for them to not do that too. So it is maybe it's like a stoicism sort of thing, but it's almost like, learning that time is really the only commodity that's not able to be gained again is an important thing to think about. And I think it's so easy sometimes to always just think, well, when I get this, when I live here, when I have this job, when I'm doing this, other things like that. But I'm sure you guys are the same way. For me, I always feel like I think about, when I get this thing, or when I'm over here, other things like that, when I have this job, when I graduate school. And then as soon as that happens, it's like you're just focused on the next thing. And it's very hard to live in the present. It's very hard to live day by day. But I feel like just kind of focusing more so on habits, character, other things like that, versus just kind of this timeline of whenever. Like tomorrow is is not a secure thing. And I heard this quote the other day. I can't really remember it, but it's like death has already claimed the past. So it's like just thinking about too that, you know, it is really hard to live in the present, but just focusing on, you know, when today starts, like what can I get done today? What can I do today? Not necessarily accomplish, but just, you know, not always just thinking about a week down the road, 6 months down the road. But I know that's hard too, especially when you have your own company or have to make moves that are out of your control sometimes. That it is hard to
sometimes I feel like with, you know, with company or with anything like business or just like life goal related, I feel like sometimes you look at like the big picture, what you want to accomplish, and you're like, that is so far from now, that's like such a big task. But it's like the little days, like, you know, like a Monday in May that like adds up over time to where, you know, you wanted to, let's say, start a company, and it's this long, you know, conglomerate of like 30 different days where you were taking care of these documents, meeting with this person, looking at this property, whenever it's a small, you know, period of time, or it's a long period of time, I mean, that, you know, that one goal that you could have just sat and, like you said, like waited for the right time, the right day, when you have enough money in your account for all these things to happen, to where you just wait, and there's never actually any action taking place. So it's like, if you take these little steps, kind of eventually, like, you realize you can accomplish these goals. But if you're just kind of sitting back and waiting for the right circumstance, the right scenario, the right environment, the right person, whatever it is, it kind of never really comes to fruition, I feel like.
In the same kind of vein, too, I feel like when it comes to like fitness-related stuff, gym stuff, it's easy to always be like, oh, I'm not feeling it today, I'm tired, I'm hungry, like I'm not motivated, but, you know, you'll never really have that perfect, like, stars-aligned day. So just learning to, you know, it's cold out. Okay, it's cold out. Like, does that mean you're not going to try? Or like, oh, it's dark. Okay, well, does that mean you're going to skip today? Or other things like that.
I kind of like how Jocko just says, like, when something bad happens, he's like, say good, you know, and just roll with it. It sounds silly, but I mean, it's like, sometimes, you know, I kind of try to tell myself that, like, oh, it's raining. I try to say, like, good thing this happened. And, like, try to find a way to, you know, look at it as a challenge, basically. Not that, like, God's giving me this way to, like, have some adversity. But honestly, just, like, looking at these, like, you know, circumstances of obstacles or something negative that's happened, you just kind of got to roll with it and learn to appreciate it.
True. And I would say, too, even, like, you know, for me, I don't know if you ever think this way, but, like, before the tough sets or in the middle of the sets or, you know, other things that are somewhat related to that or outside of fitness, but I almost, like, you get a little bit of a smile on your face because it's like, okay, I'm going to suffer in the short term, but to make the long term better. And you can almost think about, well, if I didn't push myself here, if I didn't do this, then I could just be some like lethargic fat loser.
Yeah, I had a day months ago where I was squatting and it was heavy, it was hard sets. And I just had this, like, feeling overcome where I just started smiling, which I never do before, like, squats. But I just had this big grin on my face, and I was just thinking about how lucky I am to be under this barbell, to have done this for years, to, like, you know, sure, this isn't, like, the most fun thing ever. It's hard, it's difficult, you know, but it's, like, how lucky am I to kind of be in this scenario, to be this strong at this point, to, like, have the attitude to, like, work through this stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, if it's so simple, and sure, there's a lot of people that are out there squatting the same as me, working, you know, the same way as me. Like, still just being appreciative that you are who you are and you've made the choices you have to better yourself. And I don't know, sometimes you got to look back and, like you said, live in the present, appreciate the bad things as well, because the bad things make the good things feel even better.
For sure. I think that's, like, part of the concept that when we created our newest shirt, Strength Through Struggle, not trying to plug it or anything, but, like, you know, when you mentioned, you know, you sort of have to suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
And through that suffering, you come out stronger. And it's, I don't know, it's almost like a discipline that's built when you go through those tough times or through those mud holes, and you come out or you push through them instead of just quitting and turning back. You know, realizing that if you can keep pushing through whatever it is, whether it be a financial goal, a physical goal, mental goal, whatever the case, you know, taking those rainy days and just doing it anyways builds you into a stronger character, stronger mentally, because next thing you know, if it rains the next 3 days, all right, I've been through that, I can do it, whatever, you know, it's you know, that's a small example, but, you know, I definitely think you can suffer and you return, you know, harder.
True.
You know?
And I would say, too, like, even if things aren't going your way, I feel like everything that's happened to you has led you to be the person that you are today. And if you hadn't had those bad things, then you probably wouldn't have that mindset that you do now. Even if you aren't where you want to be, you have the intention of getting there. And if the stuff hadn't happened to you that maybe wasn't so great, then would you still have the vision that you have today too, as far as where you want to be?
Yeah, there's so many scenarios I can look back and, whether it is relationship-wise or whether it is, school-wise or whatever it is, like, you look back at, like, these different scenarios that you probably, you kind of regret how you went about something, or you feel like, you were embarrassed in that moment, or these different things that, could have gone a different route. But if you never had that feeling of embarrassment, that feeling of sadness, loneliness, whatever it is, that kind of that negative feeling that you felt in that moment, that kind of turns you to be a better person, to make that decision. Like, if I wasn't chubby growing up, I probably wouldn't have gotten into weightlifting to, like, to better my body and to prove that. So it's like, you like I said, you gotta like appreciate the negative just as much as you appreciate and enjoy the positive moments in your life.
And I would almost say, I don't know if you guys ever feel this way, but like when I first dropped out of college, or like when things haven't worked out with like certain girls I've dated, it's nice to look back now and be like, man, I was so stressed out about that. But if things had gone that way, I don't know if I would have liked the person I would have turned out to be.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
does that make sense?
No, that's for sure. Like, like we talked about with past relationships with girls, like sometimes, you look back and you're like, damn it, I did this or I did that or should, whatever it is. But it's like that better prepared you for the next person you meet or will meet. I think if I didn't have certain scenarios happen, I wouldn't have probably met Maddie or acted the way I did when I met Maddie, and with like confidence or whatever it is. And, you got to look back and, same deal, like I said, with my lifting. And I don't know. Like you said, you gotta kind of analyze your situations and take the good out of it, because you can't control what's already happened in the past or what's negative. So I feel like you have to have an attitude of taking the positive out of every situation. It goes back to what you were saying, like about if you're sitting back during this COVID thing and you got all this negative shit going on, that's fine. It's not fine, but things happen that are out of your control. But all you can do is focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. Exactly. It's like, you're injured right now with like a little bit of something in your chest. I had a hamstring issue, like months ago. And like Seth Rosie recently just like tore his tricep. And I liked what he was saying was like, how am I going to like be pissed off and be negative right now? I can only focus on like what I can do. So if he can only do cardio right now, he's going to do the cardio hard as shit and, give it his all. If he can only train legs, he's going to, give it his all. If you can only do whatever at home because you're out of work, if you can do some home renovation, if you can spend more time with your kids, do whatever it is, improve your relationship with your spouse, like, you can only focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. And it goes the same deal with like, past negative experiences, is try to take something good out of it. Otherwise it's a wasted experience and you can't learn anything from it.
True. And I would say too, if you're going through this, if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling like you're at a low point, let this be the kick in the pants. Let this kind of light the fire to help you figure out your vision going forward too. Like if you feel like you're kind of lost or stuck or at a point that you don't want to be at, like, good, that's growth. That's part of life. And it's not going to always be this, you're not going to be on cloud 9 100% all the time. And it's good to have these moments too, because, sometimes this will be a turning point and put you in a different direction. So I think sometimes you need to be at that point and then start to almost be aware of it, and then you'll work yourself out of it, but feel like you're on a much better path, if that makes sense. Once you feel like, like, not that this is rock bottom, but like if this is a point that you're trying to get out of, if that makes sense.
Side note to kind of break up this motivational period though, is like with all this, we call it COVID stuff and people having a lot more free time. I know I haven't, but I wonder if you guys have. Like, have you been like going crazy with like watching movies, watching full shows and seasons, and like had all this free time to just like sit on your butt and kind of like watch entertainment?
I will say I've watched more Netflix than I have, I guess, in the past few months. Yeah, not like a considerable amount, but maybe like 25% more.
Yeah. I feel like I already know you don't really watch anything.
No, I haven't.
But I feel like you've been devoting your time different ways, more productive ways. And I don't mean it to like rip on anyone. I've definitely watched, I think, more in some moments, whether it is like, I don't know. Not really. Like Maddie and I usually try to watch like one episode of something a night, and we went on a streak a little bit earlier in like the COVID thing where we were watching like an X-Men movie a night, so it was like 2 hours, 1.5 hours. But I don't know. Sometimes I hear like people are giving out lists like shows to watch during quarantine or these other things, and it's like if you're literally just sitting on your butt every day watching like 8 hours of TV or whatever it is, it's like go for a walk, like you said, like try a hobby, learn something new, like
Well, that's how
be
I feel
productive
too.
in
It's
some
like,
way.
I don't know. My dad is like this too, and I don't know. For me too, like that's why I stopped playing video games as well. It's just kind of justifying. Okay, well, I've just spent an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and like, what have I done aside from just like consume somebody else's thing? I haven't come away from that with my time being used for anything that will benefit me. So that's why I just don't really.
Yeah.
I felt that way about video
Not
games,
shaming
too.
anybody, but it's just like that's just why I don't.
Yeah, and
really
I don't mean to shame people.
get into that
Everyone does their
trap.
own thing. Because, I don't know, I'm torn with video games, too, because it's like, I enjoy them. To me, it's the same way that I devote time to a TV show or any kind of pop culture, because what do you get out of it at the end of the day? You get a brief time of entertainment, but like you said, you're not getting any kind of sense of improvement on your own self, besides the fact that you have some sense of pop culture so that you can conversate about it later with friends, family, whatever it is. So there is that. There's less of it, I think, with video games than there is like a show or a movie. But at the same time, like, I think how I like to use video games or any kind of entertainment release that you say, well, you are more of a consumer than, developing from it, is it kind of gives you a sense of relaxing your brain, taking your mind off something, and kind of de-stressing, which I don't always need, and I get a lot from lifting or, things that I enjoy. But that's kind of how I like to utilize it sometimes, is just kind of like a little decompression, I guess.
Yeah. Most definitely.
But I feel the same way. Because one thing you can't do is, and I do too much to myself, is like trying to be productive 24 hours a day. Because then you kind of almost just run yourself in the ground if you're like, I can only do things where I improve, I have some kind of self-development. I think that's a good way, and most of your time should be towards that, because you should always be looking towards growth in some category or manner. But I think sometimes, though, you can almost run yourself in the dirt if you look at stuff and you're like, well, this has no sense of self-development, because then you can't go out to dinner.
I think it can be toxic for sure.
Yeah.
And to a certain aspect, like I see that aspect where you're saying like, oh, you look at other things that aren't, productive, quote unquote, then you're like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that because that's not productive.
Yeah.
I shouldn't take Maddie out, or I shouldn't take my girlfriend or husband out, or boyfriend, blah, 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 out because that's not business or benefiting like personal development. But also in the same aspect of, you may be setting too many goals for yourself throughout the day of like too many tasks or things to accomplish, and you don't. Next thing you know, you're becoming negative on yourself because, I didn't get shit done today because I didn't get 10 things done, only got 5 things done or 6 things done. And it's like next thing you know, you're starting to like think negatively about yourself, and I think that can be a little toxic as well.
That's why I stopped using a planner, is because I felt like I would always get down on myself if I wrote out 5 things but did 4.
Yeah.
And then also I would feel like, since it was, you could break it up into like weekly, a lot of times I would feel like, okay, well, I need to have something written down in each category. So I would kind of just make something to write, but then I would be like mad at myself if I didn't accomplish that, but then also mad at myself if I didn't have anything to write to plan out.
For sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me now, it's like, a lot of I feel like, especially early within the fitness Instagram community, everybody's always like, you got to be grinding, like sleep 6 hours, like work the other, 18 hours or other things like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, to me, I'd rather have like 1 to 4 hours a day of like solid, focused work. Get a solid like 8-9 hours of sleep if I can. Like, I would rather kind of maximize things, but like keep them sectioned versus like, I don't want to be grinding 16 hours a day, but like feel like crap and not be focused and get distracted or other things like that. Like, I'd rather be focused and driven, and then also have other outlets that I can, like, it's not just a work sort of mentality all the time. Because
I hate the word balanced, but I feel like, that needs to be said for something like that. Like, obviously you need sleep. If you don't have sleep or adequate sleep, you're not going to be productive or efficient. But like, getting to the point of, I don't believe most people need to be busy 16 hours a day. As long as you get your sleep to where you can really focus on like you're saying, almost like 4 or 5, 6 hours of like hardcore work, and being the most efficient you can during those hours, then you can fuck off the rest of the day, or even 4 hours. If you're able to knock out a ton of shit in 4 hours, you can fuck off for the rest of the day, or just fuck around. As long as you're, I guess, being efficient, which I need to be better at, because I can drag a 2-hour dilemma or object or task into like an 8-hour thing sometimes, depending on what it is. Like, I can just get lost and be like, next thing you know, you're on your phone, or you're just looking at shit on Amazon, or whatever the case may be. So I need to build my discipline with that before I start trying to preach it. But I definitely think that there is ways to like not have to like be that run yourself into the ground 16, 18-hour days, and be more effective.
Sure.
Trim the fat, if you know what I'm saying, like
good.
the TV, the Netflix, the gaming, shit like that, which I already try not to do with at least gaming. But anyways, it'd be better if I could obviously have some more discipline myself to not get distracted. Everybody has it though. Yeah. But anyways, I guess it's a good time to probably knock out some cards.
Oh, fuck, I forgot we had the questions.
Yeah, we got some cards. Let's do that.
All right, you want me to start it off?
Yeah, you start it off.
Answer the Internet. By the way, this is Answer the Internet questions as fucked up as you are. Barstool Sports product game, card game thing. All right. Answer the Internet. Would you rather have your dick as your nose or your nose as your dick?
Oh, hold on. So your dick as your nose, or your nose as your dick? We're talking like size?
Also,
or are we talking about like the whole feature?
I would say size, probably, because like if you have
it's size and features. It's literally like put this up here,
but then
or put your nose down. No. I think you have both. So it's not like you gotta swap them. It's like you either got basically two noses or two dicks. I think it's basically how I'm interpreting this question. So it's not like you got nothing down there, nothing on your face. You're like Voldemort. I think it's just,
Voldemort. Okay. Of course I would. I don't know. Damn.
I'm going dick because
as nose
as your nose, because what are you gonna do with a nose dick? That's one.
Yeah, I'd rather so.
The only concern is you got two scenarios if you got a dick for a nose. It's either drooping over your mouth, okay?
Fucking that's or back.
It's drooping over your mouth, or if somehow there's blood flow that still goes there as if it's a normal dick, then it's just pointing at people while you're like eating, while you're doing whatever. You know what? Your head game could be interesting.
Yeah, I was about to mention that, dude. I was like, dude.
Yeah, that could be interesting, but
Griffin's got the book.
Yeah, Griffin's got the book.
By the way.
Dang, I was actually thinking of
I saw him spaced out for a minute. He was like,
no, I'm visualizing like that would almost be like a closed circuit.
You're like, yeah, I know, yeah.
It could be like Quagmire.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably do that too. And like, even if it didn't work out entirely that way, I'm sure you guys have seen some great examples of nose jobs and plastic surgery. That some of these girls, it's like, man, if I had a kid with you and it came out with the old nose,
yeah,
you'd have some explaining to do. So I feel like, worst case scenario, dick is your nose, probably get a great surgeon.
Yeah, I'm probably going with that too. Yeah, because the main reason is, what are you going to do with a nose dick?
Yeah,
like you
pull that out. What you do with it?
Let me smell you.
And I don't want to be smelling probably too much down there, so yeah. I'm good. See a nose dick. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Griff or me? You got the grand finale.
Last because I got two.
Oh, okay.
I think you picked it. Oh, you have two.
Yeah.
Answer to the internet. Would you rather have a chick with a great ass but sideburns, or a chick with great tits but a thin mustache?
I'm gonna go with the sideburns.
I'm going sideburns.
Yeah.
Sideburns too.
Because a mustache, you can't dodge that. Sideburns, at least, like, I don't know.
You can almost get used to it.
You could get used to
the
that.
Mustache,
but
it's probably like tickling you.
Kissing a stash and other things. Nah, dude.
It's thin.
Wee. But I don't know, man. Yeah, and plus I'm an ass dude, so
yeah, that's true.
And I feel like who's a tit dude anymore? Like, that's old school.
I was telling him
that's boomer generation.
I was telling him my first partners, whatever you want to call them.
I thought partner. What do you? Never mind. Not gonna finish that sentence.
I always thought, well, like, okay, like they were more on the tit, Ranger spectrum. And so I was like,
as opposed to the autism spectrum.
A little dab of downs.
Maybe both. But
On the tit spectrum. Your partner on the tit spectrum. What the heck?
okay, they had bigger boobs. Okay. Point is, I was like, oh, I'm more of an ass man though. Of course, I appreciate this, but I'm more of an ass man. So, but now that I have more ass and it's flipped basically, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I'm closer to either 50-50 or possibly, I don't know. It really depends.
I could be all
I'm
ass.
closer. I'm close. I'm not. Yeah, I'm closer to the middle. Is what I'm trying to say. Basically.
Oh well, I mean they're cool. They're like a perk, I guess. But it's like I don't think I'd
You
miss
can't
them.
handle them.
Yeah,
You gotta just be delicate.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
don't
like
have
an
to
ass.
be.
You can slap it. You can grab it. You can pick her up. With boobs, it's like, okay, what am I? Just gonna do it. Yeah.
bags of sand.
So, I feel like I'm always more of an ass man myself, too. Because I feel like, too, especially in a public place, like a quick squeeze. If I open the door for you, I like to slap you on the way through. So it's like, what am I going to do with some tits? Like reach my hand up your shirt while you're cooking on the stove. Like, I can do the same thing down low.
It's definitely if I had to pick one or the other or favorite one, I think I'm still an ass man for sure.
For sure.
But I guess all I'm saying is I don't take them for granted either.
Yeah.
True. Well, the other thing I would say too is I've dated girls where it's like I got a bigger butt than you.
Yeah,
So
that can be a
they
problem.
can't-
Yeah.
I don't want to squeeze my own just to feel something.
But
It's just like
but if I got to, he's like during the game.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on, let me reach back.
Done
All
with
right. There we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just like Seabiscuit, dude.
I gotta grab something. It's not just skin and bone.
Yeah.
All right. That's
All right,
a good one.
Let's see.
Twofer.
Okay, I'll do the more blasé
He's
one. I
definitely
guess,
picking one to
first.
fuck me up.
Okay, what celebrity that everybody thinks is hot do you disagree about?
Ooh.
Oh god damn it.
What's the chick? Hold on. She was Sports Illustrated. Big
Kate
Jugs.
Upton?
Yep. Not hot at all.
yeah,
Not
great
hot.
point,
Weird,
great point.
weird
I find
hip
her
shape.
nice.
Weird hips. Weird body shape. Ugh, dude. You need to pull up a picture, brother.
You don't find her attractive.
No.
And they're probably saggy as hell.
And also, I want to mention I'm not a blonde guy either.
I'm not either, but
I am. That's my weakness. Blondes are Hispanics. in a nice way,
Okay.
Is it castiza?
No
Is that the word?
disrespect. Mamacita.
hola. You just. Oh man.
So that's mine, Kate Upton.
Now you go on, Griffin. I need to think of one.
I would say.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Emma Stone.
Is she Harry Potter?
No, she's the she's in
Pull her up.
A's like for adulting. She's in a couple.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
in,
dude.
She's in Super Bad.
Yeah. She has a weird
yeah.
voice and attitude.
She's kind of sounds like a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't really find her attractive.
I think she's more attractive than Kate Upton. To me.
Yeah, I can't agree with you on that one.
Okay, sorry. Well, Griff.
I would say. Gosh, I'm trying.
Tom Cruise.
Gosh, I just had it in my head. On a TV show.
We have a Google machine
Pick
right
the
here.
question. Didn't even have an answer.
Yeah, well, I had it just a second ago. Gosh, what is her name? Jennifer Lawrence.
No, I
Oh, Jennifer
think you're
Lawrence
wrong
was
on
that?
that one. She's in Hunger Games. She's in.
Oh, dude, no.
She's nice. Yeah.
No, she's not.
Oh my god.
No, she's not nice.
Eat
God
shit.
damn it.
She's like
Gotta be-
basic.
No.
She's like a 5, if that.
Oh, fuck out of here.
No,
You guys have no
hell
sense
What,
of taste.
like you're gonna try and find her like
We have no
her-
what?
No sense of taste.
You're gonna find her highlight
No
reel real
sense of
quick.
No
taste.
sense of taste.
Look,
Come
why
on,
are you
she's
having to
like
scroll that low?
average. I can drive
No
through
sense of
Mechanicsville
taste.
and find hotter girls than that. Come on.
No disrespect.
She only got where she is because she was with Harvey Weinstein.
Oh. She played.
Who wasn't with Harvey Weinstein?
I mean,
Anne Hathaway probably on that same spectrum too. I don't think she's hot
no.
either.
And I like
Anne
Anne
Hathaway's
Hathaway.
not.
Anne
Hell no.
Hathaway's
No
hot.
sex appeal
All right,
whatsoever.
what do you mean
Hold on.
Anne
All
Hathaway's
right, let
hot,
me
but
think.
Kate
What
Upton's
number?
not
What
hot?
number or what movie does she play in? I'm trying to make
Dark
sure.
Knight Rises.
Princess
else?
Diaries.
Yeah.
That's where she's
I
famous.
don't know that. I don't know that. What else?
Something else.
Nothing good.
I don't know.
Anne Hathaway. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
Les Miserables and shit like that.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I believe.
How is she
I think I
attractive?
recognize the name, and yes, she is.
How is she attractive? but
And it
Kate
might be the
Upton's
attitude. I don't know.
not? Dude,
Sorry.
god damn.
Don't hate me, brother.
Second question. Could you bang a chick who was the identical twin of one of your buddies? But I guess the
But
female.
like female.
version. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to
Who would it
imagine
be?
you or him with hair.
Jake.
What do you mean, Jake?
If like,
Well, like,
if
what?
Jake had an identical twin.
Why are we saying like I thought it was buddy, not your
Yeah,
brother?
well, y'all are
It's your
buddies.
buddy.
That's different if it's like family.
Okay, well, never mind.
I'm thinking like Brock's sister.
Griffin's room for incest over
Yeah,
here.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you're so pretty, dude. I'm sure your sister was hot, man.
Yeah, I feel like the long hair. We can already
Oh, yeah.
imagine it.
Dang, and she'd have a great ass.
Yeah.
Sister's got a great ass, man. So all in the genetics.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would
She'd
probably
have a
do
great
that too. You know, and if you ever married her, like having your best friend as your brother-in-law, that would be pretty cool.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I think that would get sticky for sure, because then if like
Sticky.
falling out, well, if you have a falling out, then it's like oh
Yeah.
shit. But
I think the answer is
True.
yes.
but yes, I
Yeah.
I don't think that's impossible for me. No.
I've always wanted to do an experiment where two identical twins marry two
Hispanic.
identical twins, and then see if their kids
That's already
look
been
alike.
done. It's already Maddie's already like mentioned some shit like that, to where two identical twins are dating or married each
I
other.
feel like that would be too much going on though. It would like be too much like matching and too much like.
Because what are the chances one pair of identical twins like likes each other and the other also likes the other twin?
What about
you know?
Siamese too? That would be weird.
What is that? Were you stuck together?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass. Damn, imagine being that though.
Yeah. Just
Hey, man,
drug around.
we
Who
are
controls
we
what?
are going to go smash this chick tonight.
Yeah. I
Sit
don't
over
want
there.
you, man. You're gonna do it. Just shut up.
Pass a towel. Give me a towel.
Yeah.
I know. Dang.
Damn it. Those are good. Those were good. Yours
Slap her with your left arm. Yeah.
How about tag team?
Yeah.
Blap.
Yeah.
Nice. Griffin's sister's got a fat ass. Damn, that was the best part. All right, well, I guess that's the end of this one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And drop any comments or topics you'd like us to hit in the comments below. And we're going to drop all of our social media followings in the description. Make sure you give us a follow. Let us know what you'd like to see from us in the future. And until next week, guys, we're out.